Morning, everyone. Sunday is done. Your weekend is over. Monday morning's here. Let's get into it. As always, make sure you are coming to these screens feeling fresh. Big week ahead of us. Lots of potential moves and shakers. We have news today coming 9:45, 10 o'clock. So lots of news drivers already in the market. Let's get into it. So hopefully you can all hear me loud and clear. Daily chart. All right, in fact, let's start on the weekly. What did we have last week? Failed breakout. All right, failed breakout of the highs, and we're trading back inside the body of the previous week. Okay, so the last two previous weeks, chop, 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 chop. Failed breakout below, failed breakout above. Where are we now? Death range chop. All right, so already fairly neutral there, not too much edge. Moving into the daily. Daily, inside bar, all right, inside previous day's bar, Friday's bar, neutral, chop, 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 chop. Okay, very clear that on these higher time frames right now, we are potentially in a choppy range. One thing to be aware of is we're into a new month, a monthly chart. It's a bit drastic, let's not zoom it in that much, is bullish. Right, if monthly chart holds pullbacks, it's got a long way it can pull back to 20,060 if it wants to. Okay, if the monthly chart wants to pull back there, it can still make a monthly higher low. All right, so ideally this month we do pull back and offer that before the breakout. All right, ideally this month, whether it does it or not is another thing, but ideally we offer that pullback for bulls to get involved in this market. So monthly is bullish. Weekly is in range, daily is in range. Let's move down into the other time frames. Hourly right here, let's make sure you can all see this one nice and clear. Okay, hourly is just caught between two key levels, I'd say right now. We have a gap down from Friday to Sunday. Gap down, we did not fill that gap, all right? So you could mark out this gap if you want. New week opening gap right here. Bring that right down. Okay, so we're gapping down. Overnight, we drifted lower. Okay, here's the open, roll over, slowly, 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 slowly. We go down into where we found bids from on Friday. Okay, so into the demand area from Friday, and we get a reaction off it. And we're trying to bid back up right now to reclaim the flow zones. We are in this channel going upside on the hourly. However, we're in a neutral point. Okay, we have supply overhead, demand underneath, gap overhead. We are gapping down. Technically, we're bearish. If we're under the gap and reject it, you'd be looking for a rotation into demand. And I would expect that to hold them until proven otherwise, given what we're looking at when we look left. Every time we come down, fail breakout, move up. Or fail breakdown, I should say. Fail breakdown, move up. Okay, so that's the market condition right now. These areas have been sensitive. Every time we've tried to move under them, bulls have stepped back in and lifted us up. If we have the same thing here, you have to be very careful that we don't do this again. But there is very, very strong chance of rotation in this early week unless we get a catalyst to really change things. There's supply, there's demand, there's the gap. Rotation can happen between these. Breakout above, fail breakout above, breakout below, fail breakout below. Right, that's what I'd be very, very aware of this week, because that's what the market has shown us it likes to do so far. So need to be aware of that. Early morning, there are two trades that could happen early morning. We might want to gap fill or test the gap, right? That could be trade number one. If we fail either after filling the gap or testing the gap, there can be a rotation back down towards the London low and Friday's low. If we don't even get there, if a morning drive pops fail and we turn under trend, reject value area low, reject VWAP, same thing down to here. I would be risk off, or at least trimming your profits if you're looking for that short rotation down into here, in case all they want to do is this, off Friday's low to go back upside. If they fail to hold the rotation, okay, there's another trade underneath. Be a rejection of this back down into these levels here. If they come underneath and they fail to hold underneath, obviously it's a failed breakout. We go rotation back upside. The same can be said for the gap and the supply above. If we get above, maybe it goes to supply. Okay, so this can be a trade trigger here. Once we get to supply, we either break out, retest, and go, or we go above, fail, or just tap into it, fail, and rotation back down. Okay, so in a neutral to rotating market right now, there is not a huge trend in this market. You must be aware of that, especially coming into Monday morning. Okay, especially coming into Monday morning. Do not get chopped up in this market. Same thing can be said. You can see everything here overnight, same levels, just to make it really clear. Here is your demand from Friday. That's your V-shaped recovery. There's the fail. There's the V-shaped recovery. Remember, up here they wanted to go up. We had the, or here we had the bad news, and then we come down. So we're coming back down to retesting that. So far, buyers are holding firm. Can we fill the gap? Can we get up here? We'll find out at the open. ETFs look exactly the same. All right, if I'm looking at the ETFs, they look the same. Same thing, pre-market trend channel like this on both sets of ETFs, on the Qs and the SPY. Let's have a look at this ES. ES, interestingly, is arguably looking a bit stronger. If it's going to continue to hold over sort of 890 and VWAP, that's a pretty strong hold with the possibility of a rotation higher. If it fails sort of those 890s and yeah, basically 890s, I'd say over under on ES will be key. If we fail 890, there's a good chance of a wash down to 75s and 60s. If we hold 90s, then maybe a morning drive to come and take out 900 and then get above. So I'd be watching those levels on the ES right now. Those same levels on the SPY really are a breakout above pre-market high, a hold of that 587 pivot if you're playing the spiders as the ETF. QQQ, same kind of thing. If it's able to hold this VWAP around 516s and its old gap, then potentially rotation up for a gap fill above. Gap fill will take you to 519.25 today. Breakout above that will be previous day high. VIX currently trading sideways at 1946. We do have a bit of a gap down, but remember, there's a gap beneath us as well. So, just pretty disgusting on the VIX right now, I would say. And let's have a look where we found dips. We keep bidding up dips off 19. The last few sessions on the VIX. So I'd watch 19 there. I'd watch a breakout of 20.55. 20.50, 20.55, clear level of supply up there. We came up there 3 times on Friday and failed every single time to break out above it. Above it, there is supply up to 21. So watching those, let's have a quick look at the MAG together. Let's get this on a 5-minute chart. All right, Apple. Gapping up on Apple. Coming near to these supply levels. So 202.71, so 202.7 up to 203 supply level, but is gapping up on Apple. So relative strength versus the index right now. Microsoft also trying to find a gap up, rejecting previous day highs. Right, so this is a bit like what we've had elsewhere. These highs here, make sure you're on the right chart. These highs here, if we can get through that and base, it's got a slingshot chance. If all of the MAG want to do that, maybe it drags the market up with it. Amazon, gapping down. Okay, so not up at these levels, gapping down. Found a bid of Friday. Can it hold a bid above this on Monday for a higher low and an attempt to come and take out all these stops? Time will tell. So already we can see the market not in agreement across the board. Goog, flat opening up flat right now. I think Goog had some negative news. I'll need to double check that, but I'm pretty sure I saw some negative news this morning. There's last week's pivot. If it can hold above 71, there's a chance to come and take these stops out. Failure to do so will mean a rotation back down towards Friday's lows and the pre-market lows. Meta, relative strength versus the market, gapping up again. Oh, let's get back to that. Gapping up again on Meta. So we can already see complete divergence in the mag. Some gapping up looking strong, some looking weak. Nvidia, gapping down, looking weak. Chip names looking a little bit weaker today. Probably given the news on China on Friday. So here is your gap down. There's Nvidia. Friday's level, we're gapping down. Haven't even got above previous day low. So failure to do that can allow a rotation lower right now on Nvidia. Tesla, gapping down, looking weak. All right, as Friday's close, this is where it needed to base, fails to base, gaps down, last drive up, pre-market, failing VWAP, coming back down to pre-market lows. Failing that, it's going to come back down into this chop range. Some stops here, it can clear out at 33. So already, just from looking at the mag, they are not in agreement and alignment. So straight away, alarm bells go off for me thinking, hey, this is looking like a very choppy session before we've even opened right now. You have mag not in agreement. We're stuck inside the weekly. We're stuck inside the previous day. And we're opening up near and around VWAP. So patience today, I would say, is going to be absolutely key. Start of the week. We have news coming 9:45, 10 o'clock as well, folks. So do not be in a rush to absolutely try and slam this market in a direction, because we are not in a directional market right now. It is going to need to build liquidity. It is going to need a catalyst. Let's see who's in here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Let's move this chat over so I can read it. Good morning. If I can read without my glasses. Miguel, Clint, Jesse, Jeff, ERF, Ken, Thumper, Tim V, Ryan, Brandon, Christy, Peter, Glenn Stevenson, Richard, Raphael, Michael, Ramus, Toby999, Vince, Paul, Willa, Trentry, Marek, Brad, Leron, Bart, Juan Carlos, Mike, Greg, Aaron, Darren, Chris, Minix, Jake from State Farm, Firewater, Indicator. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Did you all have a good weekend? I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Morning, Lindell. Get some water in here. I'm tired. I am tired. I had a great weekend. Probably overindulged a bit. I'm exhausted. Ended up watching Sinners last night. Great film. Caught me by surprise, that film. Not going to lie. Did not expect it to go where it went. Fantastic film. I had a great time at the Hollywood Bowl on Friday. No, on Saturday, seeing Ricky Gervais. Awesome time. All right, market opening here in just under 1 minute. 112 people watching, only 29 likes. Yes, thank you, Raphael. Tell the people. Let's get those likes up nice and early, folks. Let's get the likes up nice and early. I'm going to be a little patient here at the open. Let this market do whatever it is it wants to do. See if we can find some sort of play in this rotating market. Once we get the open, we can see the prints. Let it calm down and see if there's a trade available. We're also trading inside of Globex right now. Okay, so we're literally inside absolutely every pool of liquidity possible from every time frame right now. So just be patient. These orange lines up here, that's your top of Globex. We're above London high right now. We're going to probably potentially look to trade up to Asia high, which is 327. You've got gap fill above that. Most of the market opening up red here, other than Nvidia. How's that happened all of a sudden? It's a big drive. So Nvidia almost 1% up straight away. Apple trying to get going. Here's your Globex. Are we going to go for the gap fill above it? Again, I'm going to be very, very patient here if we are going to do anything like that. Big old squeeze in the morning session then, or on the morning print. Apple going green, Nvidia green, Tesla 1% down, Meta 1/3% down, Google 2.20% down, Amazon 1/3% down, Microsoft over 0.5% down, Nvidia 1% green, and Apple 1/3% green. So let's just let this calm down a minute. See what we get. We're through Globex. Question now is, can it get a gap fill? Remember, into this grey box, this is your weekly gap. Gap fill will be up here. Why is it not showing it? Oh, it's right on the same line. That's right. Okay, 75s. 75s will be the gap fill if it's going to do a full gap fill. And then we see what we get. Does it do a partial fill, full gap fill? Can it get there? Does it have the juice? And what does it present as an available play after we get there? Is it going to go all the way to supply at that point? Gap down this morning as well in the VIX into its old gap. So choppy, choppy, choppy. Nvidia now 1.33% up. Apple driving to 0.5% up. Meta not too far away from going red to green. There it goes, red to green on Meta. Market in a hurry to fill its gap right now. So gap fill coming up. Not in any of this, folks. Just want to let it sort of do what it needs to do and calm down, and then we can think about what happens next afterwards. There is the gap now filled. Okay, so objective number 1 for the market complete. Is it now going to trade up to previous day high? Once we get up there, we can think about if there's a trend. ES has not filled its gap yet, by the way. So you do have divergence here currently. There's a big old morning squeeze. How many points are we up? Almost 100 points now, opening 3 minutes. As it keeps going, ES trying to do the same thing, basically. ES is trying to fill its gap, so lagging behind NQ. It will probably get there, and it'll probably drag NQ up to previous day high right now, which is quite the drive for a morning print here. ES almost there. It's trying to get there. It's desperately trying to get there on the ES. Previous day high, not too far away here for NQ. 434s. Another 30, 40 points, and it's there. ES trying to get to that gap fill. It's almost there. Spiders, has it filled its gap already? Spiders have pretty much filled its gap. They're about to tag it now. So cash gap based on the SPY is filled, not quite filled yet on the ES. So you have a little bit of divergence there. QQQ coming up to previous day high. NQ lagging behind the Qs just a little bit. So we have a slight divergence right now in the market between the ETFs and the futures. Yes, almost there. Very, very close. Not quite making it yet. One more little push for ES and it's there, but SPY did fill it, so you do have divergence there. We did talk about the divergence. Be very, very careful. I'm not playing any of this. I'm not interested in the morning print on a Monday. Most of the tech has now gone green. Google and Microsoft, the only ones lagging. The Goog. It might as well get to previous day high. Now it's come this high, but let's see. Yes, getting very close to filling its gap. You'd expect it to fill it and get to previous day high. And then once we get up here, we can make a decision if we're going to find a bid above. Are we going to do this for reprice all the way up to here? Or is this going to be a failure and a back down into range? I don't know right now. This is exactly what we talked about in Discord. Bullish if we can hold a bid above these levels up here. We'll need to get above these levels and hold a bid. Otherwise, all we're doing is being an efficient market, filling the gap across the board, and then offering a rotation. It's a pretty big straight move up here from the morning, isn't it? Pretty big straight up move. Let's make sure I get these morning prints on. There's our anchor. All right. So tapping into supply, previous day high just above. Market going into lower time frame bullish moves right now, but again, still in a rotational market. If you zoom out, we're still in a rotational market. It's a big shove up on the H1. It's looking like it wants to clear out some of this liquidity above. ES is coming into its gap fill area. It's very, very close to filling the gap. It hasn't quite done it on the ES yet. The SPY has done it. The QQQs have done it. The QQQ has almost taken out previous day high. Same with the NQ. VIX gapping down. ES lagging behind. And very close to completely filling its gap. Didn't quite get there. Previous day high above. Morning, Coop. Yeah, out the gate. Straight up to that supply zone. Holding prints above VWAPs. And off to the races. I just want to let this calm down here. Not interested in a short unless we take all the liquidity and fail. If we're going to be horrible and leave previous day high and ES leave previous day close, I probably would not touch a short rotation. That will be the market being disgusting. Right now, looking at on an H1, I'd much rather look for a pullback or a breakout pullback to go back upside right now, maybe test that old range at 700s. That's what it looks like it wants to do to me. Whether it can do it or not is a whole other thing, but that is what it looks like it wants to do. Maybe we've got news coming in like 7 odd minutes or so as well, folks. All right. Very close to previous day high here. ES very close to breaking out. There's previous day high. This market is not hanging around. We've now swept previous day high. ES getting very close to filling its gap. We are on an absolute short squeeze here, folks. This is not messing around, this market. So PDC now taken on ES, previous day high now taken on NQ. If the ES wants to get to previous day high, NQ is just going to keep ripping. We can go all the way to 700s today. Ideally, it doesn't do it straight up in the opening 15 minutes because it's not going to give us any plays. So we're watching to see if we break out and pull back and hold here. If we can do breakout, pull back and hold. Breakout, pull back and hold. We can go higher, especially once you look at the higher time frame and you understand what we're doing right now. This is exactly what we just talked about. The H1 wants to do this move here. It's possible. If it fails here, we go back into the death chop range. So this is what we want to see this morning. Question is, can we pull back and hold a bid? Don't really want to just buy the high of the morning drive. So can it pull back above and hold a bid? If it fails underneath previous day high, it can offer a rotation deeper, which is why you will need to be careful buying up here. It's very probable it wants to come and back test down here first. But ES does have room to go. All of the market other than Google now green. So Tesla 0.14% up, Nvidia almost 2%, Meta almost 2%, Google 1% down, Amazon over 0.5% up, Microsoft 0.12% up, Apple 0.25% up. Not going to buy this high. If it keeps squeezing, it's not going to offer me the opportunity. If it pulls back and can hold dips to PDC, flow zones, PDH, anywhere around there where it can build liquidity, I'm interested. If it comes to those levels, stays heavy, I'm not going to be a buyer because it means all we've done is take a load of stops out to come back inside the range. This market has shown over the last few weeks, all it wants to do is run stops, come back, run stops, come back, both sides. So I'm very, very aware of that. Remember, that morning drive was 171 points in the first 10 minutes. All right, 171 points in the first 10 minutes. Do not need to rush into this morning. News coming here in 5 or 4 minutes now, and then more news top of the hour. I'm going to sneeze here, sorry folks. Oh. VIX finding a little bit of a bid in that range again. We talked about this earlier in the session. Gosh, sorry folks. Back to 19s. If it fails 19s, it can come down to 1850s. Failing that, we get a deeper drive down into 18s and 1750. So far, finding a bid around 19s. If it fails under 19s, then the market will have a chance to squeeze higher, maybe up to those 700s that we talked about up here. Watching now to see if we hold bids into this anchored view up and flow zones above this level here, 370s. So far, SPY just closing the gap into its 5-day moving average, finding sellers. That's all we've done. We've squeezed up, filled the gap, become an efficient market, and found sellers. This is why I want to be patient this morning. Interested in buying this if it can form some form of bullish pattern and sort of hold some dips. Otherwise, I'm really not interested because it means all we've done is run everyone's stops, fill the gap, and go back into rotation, which means we're just going to go back down to this level here. And if we fail that down to here, like we talked about, we can expect rotation. If it can't hold bids, we do this. If it holds a bid, we can do this today. It is gross, folks. You got to be looking at the high time frame right now, understanding what's possible. Be much easier today if it holds a bid for us because we have room to go and back test up towards 700. If it doesn't want to do it though, we're going to have to respect it. News coming in 2 minutes. Yeah, lots of 100 lots stepping in once we started fading off there. 50s, 62s, 75s, all around those sort of areas. I'm interested to see if they try and walk this price down or not. So back down towards those 400s. This is where we absorbed off a little while ago. Remember, PDC is all the way down at 37s. This market has the chance to move higher though. If we hold bids here, form a little flag, this market definitely has a chance to start squeezing back up, which is what it's trying to do right now. How long we got? Oh, move this out of the way. 1 minute until news. Just want to wait for this new first lot of news to come. See if we thin out here. Looks good for a squeeze here. It's trying to hold as long as it doesn't put in a lower high from where it failed around PDH. If it can find a bid in and around this red box and squeeze out for a new high, then it is a breakout retest scenario. If it fails here, then it's just a sweep and we come back downside. Just going to wait for the news to come out and then we can see. I think it's PMI off memory. Trying to remember now. Have a quick look. Yes. PMI 9:45. And then ISM 10 o'clock. And then Fed Talk 10:15. There was rumors at the weekend as well that Powell was going to step down today. So just be aware of that. Whether that's true or not is a whole other thing. But there were rumors. Okay, news starting to hit the wire here. But didn't really thin out much. Those sellers are still up there. in 60s and 75s right now. Yeah, keep your discipline. Here you go. PMI actual 52 versus 52.3. Basically in line, not much. Like a tiny bit lower manufacturing, but pretty much in line as expected. I don't know, Jake. You would imagine it would go down initially and be bought back up, because if he's going to step down, you imagine Trump is going to replace him with someone who is going to do cuts straight away. That would be my guess. They're putting pressure on him to do cuts. He doesn't want to do cuts yet. So if we do cuts, then probably the market sees that as a good thing, right? Borrowing becomes cheaper and we price in a higher move. But not for the initial move, I would say. But who knows? Who knows in this market? Yeah, rumors that he's going to step down this afternoon. But who's created that new rumors might have come out of the Trump camp to try and force the issue. So let's just wait and see. So ES, you can see close the gap, failing. NQ got above previous day high, finding some sellers up here. And can it find continuation higher, or does it start to let go? Are we going to go all the way back down in this rotation? It's possible. We are in a range rotating market, is what I'm saying. You are in a see money, take money environment right now. If we can build like a two-leg pullback here and offer some form of buying opportunity back up here, it's interesting. But otherwise, you have to respect, like we talked about, we're in a range rotating market. Do I need to move this up a bit for you? I think I do, so you can see the time. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, back to PDC here. And back to the flow zones. Do we find a bid? Sellers stepping in here fairly aggressively, chasing the market down right now. ES coming back down to retest where it broke out from this morning, the 900s. We talked about that pre-market, 900s. If we find bids here, we can potentially move upside. If the market is just retesting here, this can be the two-leg. We can potentially move upside. It doesn't have to move upside. It's just something we can potentially do. Those 900s are absolutely key on ES. It's where we broke out from. No hold of it yet. We haven't got into it quite yet. Very close. I think 04s, 03s. So there, and then if we fail that, VWAP on the ES. We're just in flow zones. VWAP is above us now. Value area high, old point of control, old PDC here. This white line is where we closed on Friday. Previous week close, previous day close right now. Going to require patience here. I'm expecting very, very choppy conditions today unless we are going to base above the previous day high. Otherwise, all I'm looking at is a range rotating market with inside bars where we're exploring outside and failing. So far this morning, we explored outside. We explored outside previous day high and have failed back inside. If we get back above this, there is squeeze potential higher. This is the two legs starting to be formed here. The question is, can we start squeezing higher now? Can ES find a bid in front of or around 900 for that move up? If it cannot, then there's no way we can move higher. Failing New York VWAP here as well, that blue line. Just trying to be patient here. I'd love to be bullish today because it would be an easier trade right now than a range rotation. But right now, all we're doing is failing. The morning drive was very big, 171 points. Off what? Off nothing, really. Let's see. Back to PDC. I want to see ES back test where it broke out from, basically 900. If it fails 900, fails VWAP, it's got its trend line. If it fails that, rotation starts to get a little bit more aggressive in the day. So let's see if they want to hold pullbacks here. 900 coming up, 902s. Same with the SPY, same kind of level. Here's 900 testing. It needs to find a bid right here, right now into VWAP. Otherwise, sellers probably take control for the session. And we're just in range rotation. It's all we're in. All we're in is range rotation. If they're going to short this, here's your trend line. Here's where we broke out from. This is basically your lower time frame RBS level here. We'll need to hold here. This is where ES is right now. That's the difference between NQ and ES. ES is into this already. ES coming into VWAP here. All right, so they're very different charts right now. More news coming 10 o'clock. Back into the old gap, the grey box. Still not pushed a button yet. I'm trying to be patient. If we find a bid, I'm interested. If we can't find a bid, I'm going to have to find a way to play it as a rotational play back down to higher time frame demand and lower. ES into its VWAP, about to test its trend line. So these are the key levels. It's under 900. It's into its VWAP. If it fails here and fails its trend, it will start to wash. If it then fails at 890, we can go back towards the pre-market lows or the overnight lows. Same for us. If we start failing these levels here, we can wash. All right, we will need to hold NQ. Will need to hold these levels here where we squeezed out. This is your breakout, retest for continuation. Failing to do that offers this trade here. That's why I'm being patient. You could have said, hey, you should have shorted the top. Yeah, it's possible, but into news, it's not something I wanted to do. A range rotation continues. This is I'm going to try and be calm, but this range rotation market is not what I want to see. It's very probable. It's not what I want to see. Why? Because it's going to make this week very, very hard if they continue to do this. This is exactly what we had last week and the week before. Just be aware of that. Okay, so ES failing, its trend line failing VWAP into this last area where it's got a chance to catch. If it doesn't hit, it's game over. And I expect we rotate all the way down to Globex lows at that point. NQ coming into its VWAP right now and its opening range low and New York print. Let go of that. Then we're going to go back to Globex low 160s and previous day low 070s. Just trying to be patient here. I do not want to get caught in rotation. I want to try and let something happen. All we've had, if you think about this, is a huge squeeze out and a straight failure down. This is a very tight lower high to take into news. And we haven't offered a pop to fail. There's been no real structure built out. It's not going to draw it, is it? No real structure built out for this. And has not given us a chance to bid off this yet either. So I want to be careful here and just wait. Yeah, ES gave more than most of it back. It's given way more than the morning drive back. Underneath key levels now, it's looking probable that it's going to rotate all the way back down to 77s and then 67s right now. It just needs to drive up and fail. Right now, sellers are just chasing this market down. So you're not getting a good price to sell right here. Buyers are here at 21,300 on NQ. We're just in range. The hard thing here, folks, is we're in range rotation. So the next drive up should fail if you're looking for lower prices. If it doesn't fail, the problem is you have divergence. We are here. ES is here, right? They're making it hard. It is not by mistake, right? They are not in a confluence in terms of positionings. ES definitely the weaker asset right now. It's the easier short because it's let go of some key levels. So the drive up on ES, if they sell into it, it's an easier short right now than the NQ, I would say. It's underneath its VWAPs. And trend line, this white trend line here, we're underneath it on the ES. Very different right now. We're into RBS on NQ. ES is well beneath. Let's see. Do they hold view up here, or is this a bear flag now to go lower to take out previous day low and everything beneath? And we're just at an RBS. It's going to be very, very tricky this day. I knew it was going to be tricky, but they have made sure it is with that opening print being so big. I'd watch ES versus the trend line and view up. They're all basically the same level. Finding a bid here on the RBS on view up so far. Does this next drive up get sold into? That's kind of the question I'd be asking in my head. If they sell into it, then you expect a retest of the lows. If they don't sell into it, then you expect a full recovery and all the way back up to previous day high. This is what I'm talking about. The divergence between the two is going to make it hard. Starting to find some sellers into that last move up. Can they get underneath the view up? I think that's going to be your key here, really. Buyers technically still in control off the morning print. We're not underneath New York Open in the NQ. We are well under it on the ES. Again, ES, the weaker asset this morning. And we've got more news coming in 3 minutes. So they're doing everything I don't want to see. This is just like the previous few weeks. This is everything you don't want to trade right here. Look at the flow zones. Big blue move. Never come back to it. Big red move. Holding RBS. Probably a big move up here to make people unsure whether to take a short against it or not. This is not by error. This is by design, I would say. I'd be leaning in this bearish right now, but it's very tricky. They're starting to let go. I'd feel much more confident in these shorts if we can get underneath view ups and the orbs right now. But I am going to put a little piece in here just in case this is ready to start flushing. Finding absorption there at the same level in front of view up again. ES rejecting view up nicely. You just need follow through from the cues here. There's a buyer sat at 300. Underneath that, I think we have room. I'd be watching for that break of the opening range low and the New York low, New York Open for that move potentially down to 160s. So that's what I'm looking for here. Can we let go view up for some follow through? Fantastic. This is what I want to see. Can we get continuation now underneath 190s for a move to 160s? Again, ES, the weaker asset, taking a partial here in case we want to be nasty into that newsprint, which is coming in 1 minute. They're gonna make this hard. They're gonna make this hard. Trimming all my size down here, 1 minute away from the newsprint. I'm not trading TPT, so I can't tell you, but the rest of my accounts look good. Holding view up again here. NQ unwilling to move lower right now. We're coming into news, so expect potentially book to thin out. But I did get filled down here. There's no real liquidity left on the book other than us one single seller up at 450 now. Everyone else has kind of said sayonara. ES again, weaker asset, looks good. It's the easier short today for sure. Vashal. If we rotate underneath these, then there is a move down towards Globex. If they're really going to get nasty, there's a move down towards Globex. Here comes the newsprint. Wild, wild moves. ES letting go here. Does the NQ have any continuation in it? Back to that lower time frame algo, back to the New York print. Are we going to let go? Still think there's a chance to get to 160 and below. It's just whether it wants to play it. So we did sweep on the NQ. It's not broken out yet. ES looks so heavy, so much better than the Qs right now. It's just aggressively printing lower. Here we go. Can I get some all the way down? Keep going. Trying to hold this with a single little lot. Here's 50s. Can we get down to 160s? We've got another 100 points here if it wants to go, and previous day low even lower. ES just so weak. Fantastic trade on ES. So again, the weaker asset looks really good. I think we can get to Globex here. If pops start to fail, we can get to Globex. The problem is ES is into a demand area now. It's just the divergence is making this extra tricky. You will need pops to fail versus New York Open in the opening range. Any claim of that, reclaim of that, then we go back inside. That would be an absolute nightmare. But if we stay heavy here, I think there is a move to Globex. There are a few buys here. If we start to let go of this, I think we get a snap. Come on, market. Most of the market going red. Again, you will need rejection of opening range here and New York to stay heavy. If they don't do that, expect to be chopped up right back to the upside. So looking for a bear flag continuation now. We've broken out of this trend line, this gray line right here. You need to see a rejection in front of or around here where we're coming into right now. If you do not see a rejection here, they will squeeze all the way back up. So it has to find sellers here, otherwise this will squeeze all the way back up. We're very thin above. It's now or never for the sellers. If they do not take control, this is what we've seen the last, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, where they don't take control, where they have the ability to take control and they get squeezed and we get a failed breakout and we go back upside. So that's what I'm aware of in this market right now. So far, they're selling into orb, selling into that New York print. Reclaim of that, all bets are off. They're trying to reclaim it. I'd say 300 basically is your final over-under basically. Reclaim that all the way back upside would not surprise me, especially given the relative strength in NQ. Looks very thin now. So above 312, it's just black on the book map. There's nothing there. Yeah, VIX spiking, but again, failing back inside. Hasn't taken out key levels above. And the range rotation continues. We should really be trying to drive lower. If sellers are going to take control, again, daily's inside, weekly's inside, we're still inside. Globex, nothing's changed. Literally nothing has changed in this market for, well, I don't know how many days now. It's got to be 13 odd days. So, all right, this is not working at this point. Reclaiming those levels. If they reclaim VWAP, like I said, they can be very nasty with a squeeze here if they want to be. I'd like to see this fail lower, but whether they're willing to do it or not is a whole nother ball game. Right now, they do not look willing to take control, or maybe not a willingness. Maybe it's just like they can't take control. These sellers are unable to take control of this market. They had the chance a few times. They had the chance at the lows a couple of weeks ago. They had the chance with the failed breakout on Friday. And they had the chance, was it Friday? Yeah, they had the chance at Friday and then they got completely reclaimed. They just cannot take control of this market, and it's making it very hard to play because it means there's no follow through. VWAP is getting sold into here. There is potential for a bear flag here and continuation, but I just don't like that we're hanging around this orb. They will need to reject this. Do they play this bear flag now? What are you doing, market? This is just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Nvidia still green, Meta still green, rest of the market's gone green to red. Tesla heavy, Google heavy. Maybe we get the bear flag breakdown here. Watching it in case we start letting go here. It's just very hard to find conviction with the relative strength. If VIX can break 20, I feel much better. Come on. If we're going to do it, let's do it. Yeah. Still don't think there's continuation. Still holding. Oh my God. I should just play ES. It just trades so well. NQ is just an absolute piece of garbage right now to trade. My worry is if they start printing up here, all we've done is a huge fail breakout on and sweep liquidity on the hourly, and a fail breakdown on the hourly here to the downside as well. And do we want to print all the way back up to the gap again? Very possible. Momentum is downside though right now. Does ES want to go all the way back to VWAP, you know? Yeah, ES was a very nice trade. It was a much better trader right now. I did talk about it. It was relative weakness. You do want to be short on the weaker asset, really. Technically, it's a much easier trade. Here goes ES back towards VWAP. NQ doing the same. ES got a much longer way to go. Yeah, there's a reason they put it in key levels when newsprint comes. They would do it for a good reason. Everything is done for good reason. Here goes the ES. So ES probably going to go and back test into those 890s. VWAP, and if it reclaims 890s, 895s, then the squeeze is on in this market. If it can't reclaim it, then it's just a back test, maybe to go lower. We have big divergence. Here you go. So this is why I don't like the shorts down here. Starting to reclaim key levels. We are thin above. Remember, this move was straight down, straight up, straight down. If we reclaim this, it can go straight up again. This is literally, these are like, for me, the worst markets to trade. It's non-directional. It's neutral, non-directional. You get a scalp and that's it. It's all it gives. It's a see money, take money environment. Here's ES into its VWAP, just like we talked about. Oh my gosh. It's just, I look at the daily and just be like, why bother? Does anyone else look at that daily and think, why bother? Can we get some kind of move outside death chop, please, on the daily? Please. The amount of times it's had the ability to do it and hasn't done it. Back to view up here on the NQ. The only seller really on the tape right now is 69 lot at 450. Just not in agreement across any time frame right now. You're gonna have to be careful. It's absolutely fine not to trade this, folks. Like I'm telling you, it's fine not to trade all this inside action. This is where you are likely to lose your shirt. If you find it frustrating, it's because the market's trying to build liquidity. It's trying to frustrate you. Like I'm not looking at any time frame and thinking there's good alignment here. Daily, neutral. Hourly, swept the highs, come back down, isn't finding continuation. Neutral until proves otherwise. 30-minute, you could argue bullish on how we might drive up here in the next 20 minutes. M1 and M2, M3, M4. Technically bearish, looking for a drive up to fail, but we're inside range, so you have to say more neutral. Very, very tricky. And the ES again could not break out of 20. So it can't stay under 90 and it can't stay above 20. A bit like this market. We can't stay above 440s and we can't stay lower right now. So just rotate, 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 rotate. If we get continuation, I'm happy to join some for some scalps. But other than that today, I'm not thinking too much about a trend. I think it's struggling to find a trend at all, this market. We have Fed talkers coming as well in a little bit. Just be aware of that. All right, let's see. If this is a two-leg foot pullback that fails, maybe we go lower now. So watching to see what they do at this New York print and opening range. If they keep absorbing here, we're going upside. If they start failing and can get a volume move in to go lower, I'll think about joining. Otherwise, not interested. ES does look weaker here again. Looks like it wants to retest the lows. You've got to be careful if they build that inverse right shoulder out here on the ES. I guess you could argue the same with the NQ, a bit more of a quasi type look on the NQ. You've got to be very careful if they do this. Really, I'm looking for this move down here right now. This is what I would like to see happen. I'd like to see this market get weaker. Opening range so far, 220 points on the day. Still finding bid at the New York Open. Still looks like it wants to chop. No continuation lower. ES finding a bid to form that inverse right shoulder. If they're going to catch here, they can go all the way, folks, back to high of day, because all we did was go straight up and go straight down. There is a lack of structure here. Straight up, straight down. There is a lack of structure here. If they start reclaiming this, up here is not very hard to do. Lost my stream again. Okay, let's see. ES coming into its view up again. SPY not quite there yet. Back to view up on NQ. No rollover yet. No squeeze high yet. Just what to do? Shall I go back to bed? That's what I'm literally thinking in my head. Shall I go back to bed? Do I want to trade this formation inside this? Inside this? No. Definitely not right now. That is... Let's hope we get a weekly model by Wednesday. Let's just say that. Let's hope the next 2 days are shit, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have something to play. Yeah, exactly, Brad. It's what I'm thinking right now, mate. It is exactly what I'm thinking. So ES into view up. It's got its trend line above that we failed down from. SPY's trying to get to view up as well. NQ, maybe it's cash view up here. We are technically on a lower time frame bearish right now. Everything above that, I'd say we're kind of neutral. Right, I'd say this high here made this low. So I'll be watching this. There is an imbalance here that we are starting to hold on this kill candle. This is the high. This is your multi-leg. If this gets heavy and gets under here, there's a better short for a rotation. It's a bit like, if anyone saw my Twitter at the weekend that I put up, I said it's been fairly evident that there's been a bid in this tape no matter what. No matter what the news, no matter what levels let go, no matter what happens, there is a bid in this tape, and there has been for weeks and weeks and weeks to keep us in this range. You have to understand that. I don't know who the bid is, if it's one player, multiplayers, if it's insiders, I don't know. But you have to just respect the fact that every chance sellers have a chance to take over, there is a bid on the tape absorbing every single time. And that bid, though, did not want to continue on, was it Friday? On Thursday for a move higher. He's only absorbing lows. There's no continuation upside. There's no continuation downside yet. Back to VWAP. Looks so thin above, folks. There's some selling into 412, 425, 450. But between those two levels, I'd say above 350, it gets very, very dark on the book. Basically very, very thin above sort of here. All the way to here, there's basically nothing. Right? There's no one there. No one at home. I'll give you a readout on the mag. You can see how they're all so different. Tesla 2.34% down. Nvidia 1% up. Meta just under 0.5% up. Google just under 2% down. Amazon 0.75% down. Microsoft 0.20% down. Apple 0.12% down. Complete split, no one in agreement in direction there. VIX failed 20. VIX failed to get under 19. Sideways. Market failed to hold above previous day high, failed to rotate even down to here. ES has done all these moves. Okay, ES did not get too far away from previous day low. It only had to do another 20 odd points. Found an area of demand that I already had marked out, and we're back to VWAP. So just range rotation. If you're playing edges today, if you're a range trader, you're probably having a lot of fun. If this is your type of market, you're probably having a lot of fun. Question right now I'd have is this versus this. Does this let go, or do they build here for all this nasty move? I literally don't know. I have no edge in the market right now. Building out lots of stops here into that Globex level, into that orange line. You'd expect them to come and take these. Really, even if it's going to move lower later, this is a lot of short stops here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Current candle 10. Pop these and you can probably get up to here. I'd expect them to just run them out. It's far too clean there. Up we go. So pop them like we just talked about, and probably gets that move towards 50 like we talked about, using them as the juice to get there. ES coming back up, testing its trend line. SPY to VWAP right now. So how we act here is probably going to be key. If SPY rejects VWAP, then the cash sellers step in. If they don't do that, then the cash sellers aren't stepping in, and we can squeeze back upside. Is that clear out to go lower? I'm watching this now. If we're going to start breaking down like I talked about, I will be interested. Otherwise, not really. got to be clear and obvious. It can't just keep doing back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Just trapped between the two VWAPs right now. Overnight, 24-hour VWAP, New York VWAP. Not interested all the time we're doing that. All the time we're doing that, we're going to build liquidity. I will wait and give it a little bit longer to see if there's one more trade either side. Otherwise, I will get off this early. There is no way. I've talked about this the last 10, 12 days. I will not sit here and watch this be nasty. I would rather get off than have any temptation. Right now, I'm completely flat on the day. No trades taken. I'm not, well, there was one trade taken, which is a complete lie. Which is what? That's on my Traderify account, which I got rid of, which is up 180 bucks. Basically nothing. So we will wait. SPY back to view up again. If no trade becomes available, I'll get off early, folks. I will not sit here all day and watch this. Starting to reclaim the flow zones, trapped between these two levels into the new week opening gap. No edge in this. No edge in this. Inside the opening range. Sometimes, Willa, but like, it's not worth the mental brain power a lot of the time. The last few weeks, the good trade has come after lunch. It's not come in the morning session. The trade which actually happens has been coming literally as soon as I get off stream, 30 minutes after we've been getting it in Discord. I feel like for the last week. It's just been how it's been. But I will not sit here and watch this. I'm disciplined. I sit here for you guys, but I've done it for two weeks now. I'm not going to do it anymore. It's a waste of my time. I would rather go and make music, or my dog needs surgery, so considering having to take her in for surgery rather than, we've got it booked for July 8th, but she's in pain, so I might end up taking her, rather than sit here watching an awful market. So here's the squeeze like we talked about, probably gets to 50, uses those stops to get to 50. 50 is coming up now. .46s, you'd expect this to try and get to 50. If we get through 50, then it can go to previous week close. If we get there, we're going to go previous day high and open the range high again. If we fail in this move up, then they can produce a lower high on, I don't know what time frame. It's a mess, folks. Remember, I am always using like the hourlies to guide me. Look at your hourlies right now. Ask yourself, is this something you want to trade? We've already swept that, and we failed to sweep this. So what's this telling you? It's probably going to do this. Unless it can do that, or can do this, I'm not interested in here. Right? Not going to do it. The hourly is my guide. There's just no way I want to trade in here right now. And unfortunately, I'm catching myself saying that a lot. But this is day number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Day 13 in the death chop. We've had 2 days where we've been outside of it. And both those days have traded back inside to the death chop. So what do I expect to happen? If it's shown me what it wants to do here. It wants to build liquidity and hurt people. What do I expect it to do? Build liquidity and hurt people. What did it have a chance to do this morning? Break down. What has it shown an inability to do over the last few weeks? Break down. Go to my Twitter. I literally posted about it on Sunday. Expect it to move up because there's been a buyer intake for weeks now. Peter, yeah. I mean, like, it was, we had the same last week, same numerous times. It's just tricky. These are tricky conditions for me. My strength is not range rotation. I do not like trading range rotation. I love it when we get a pro trend. When the daily, ideally, weekly, daily, 4 hour M15, M5 want to do the same thing. That's, for me, nice, easy money. Right now, you've got whales betting against each other. There's a reason we're stuck. They're building liquidity. Some whales want to be short. Some whales want to be long. No whales want to be long above the level. No shorts want to be short below the level because they're not confident. So we do what? We just get trapped. Liquidity gets built because that's how liquidity builds. It builds when people are trapped, and that's all we've got. Is all we've got. So we're through those 50s like we talked about. Previous week close now, 77s-ish. So maybe it comes back into that settlement price and get through that. There's no reason why it can't get all the way back up here. What was your trigger? I guess you can argue this is a trigger long here, but it's very, very risky given where ES was all the way down here. ES now all the way back up to previous day high. And the mag completely mixed. Nvidia 1.12% up, Meta 1% up, Microsoft flat, Tesla 1.86% down, Google 1.50% down, Amazon just under 0.5% down, Apple 0.25% down. They're not in agreement. Well, we go over this so many times in stream. They're not in agreement. The mag's not in agreement. We have divergences between the indexes. NQ 0 point or about to go red to green on the day. ES red on the day. And so this close price that we're coming into, that dictates red to green. Through that, there's potential to squeeze all the way back up to the high of session. Fail this. This is midpoint of your opening range. We're in no man's land. Where is your edge in the market? My edge is not here right now. All right, so just think about that. They get up here and build liquidity. I'm really interested in over previous day high for a hold and a bid above it to 700. Not in front of it, not as we trade into it. VIX coming back down to 19. If it finds a bid there, this market chops back up, back down again. If it doesn't find a bid there, maybe this market gets some follow through. So be watching to see if this market, I guess, can pull back right now towards 40s and 50s and find a bid. Especially if the VIX starts to fail. ES is not through previous day high yet. I want to see this pullback and hold into 40s. That's the only way I'm going to be vaguely interested if I'm going to think about a rotation long. They keep selling ES into previous day high. It's got no follow through it yet. Hey, come on, market. Give me something. How long are we in now? Been here an hour now. Come on, market. If we can pull back in here and hold to somewhere in here and hold a bid, I'm interested. If we fail that bid and do this, I'm interested down. This is an area of interest for me if we can come into here. Don't really want a long into where buyers probably got trapped up here this morning. If we get above and build, I'm interested in the long up there as well. Five-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute bar here. Looking for a pullback in the early side of this bar to be absorbed. If it's not absorbed, then shorts will have a chance to take over again. Again, what are we doing today? We're inside initial balance, which has now been set for the day. Your extremes for the day are your IB. So your high of day, 59, and your low of day, 235. That's your initial balance. It's 220 points. It's a decent size. We're inside the IB. We are inside the opening range. We are inside Globex. No, we're not. We're outside Globex. My bad. We're outside Globex. And if we can catch dips here, there's a chance to go higher. All right, there's a chance for it to want to do it if we can catch some dips here. If it can't hold it, then there's no play really, unless they start breaking down. Yeah, 900 is good money, Raphael, in this market. I think they will need to trade back down into 40s here, like 50s and 40s, maybe even a little bit lower. And if they catch a bid there, it has got a chance to trade high. If they do not catch a bid there, then there's no good. Basically needs to do this move into here, find a bid, or this up here, maybe into view up somewhere around here, or a retest of this. This is where buyers are stuck. If we get up here and we build, there's a leg higher possible. If the mag want to participate, they will have to participate in this. It's trying to build. It is trying to build it. Just need that little dip down to get absorbed to show that the buyers actually want to go all the way up here. They are trying. They are trying. They're trying to build that flag. I'd rather it comes lower first. Much rather this comes lower than goes straight squeeze up. Here's the flag being built. Watching for a trade all the way up to here. I'd much rather they dip it and then do it. I want to get up to here. If they dip and hold or flag and go, I'm looking for a trade all the way up into here. I'd much rather we go lower to go higher. But this is previous week close where we're trading at. It's a big level. Don't really want to execute around here if I can avoid it. Previous day high on the ES as well. They're going to squeeze. They're looking for a squeeze now. Here it goes. Ugh. I want this lower really. I want this much lower first. Yeah, now there's no bids under 50, so there's no reason to go under 50 at this point unless they show up. So like I said, I think ideally they bid and hold 50. They do a little drop, grab it, and rip it. That would be... Why smashing up the kitchen? That would be a nice trade. Can Microsoft go red to green? Can Tesla stop selling? Can the market find a bid for that squeeze? Here we go. So in this, how high do we go now? There we go. Said it, didn't I? Okay, so still got one left. Let's go all the way up then. if you're going to do it, let's just go all the way up. And this is where buyers got stuck this morning. This is why I took some off into here. So I took this into here. If we build out liquidity here, we can go higher at that point, but you must protect. This is where buyers are stuck. You can tell they're stuck here. Here's the bids this morning and another failed attempt. This is where buyers are stuck. So this becomes intraday supply. You're long into this, you're partial here. If they build out enough here, we can get continuation, but do not just start entering up here. You're asking for trouble. At least we got one trade that was very quick on that absolute nasty stop run. Nice, Mike. Yeah, very nice. ES failing PDC there. Hey, Richard, you passed my fund of futures. Well done, buddy. So like we said, those in Discord, it's what we talked about this morning. We expect range rotation, see money, take money environment. Do not be looking for big trends. If they're not going to develop, we have to respect it. You cannot force your way. If they do not want to develop, we will just rotate. Look left. Make sure you look at what we've done other days that we've been here. It's going to give you a clue as to what we're going to do today. Until we get outside this death range, this is kind of the market environment we're in. We have to respect it. You're probably sick of me moaning about it, but I would rather err on the side of caution, all right, than anything else. If we can get back above 450s, I still think there's a trade up to 700s. But it has to prove itself to me. It has to prove itself for me. But above 450s, I think there's a potential trade to 700s. If we fail up here, this will just rotate again. The bias right now is still long, just based on how we've recovered and how ES has done very, very well, because ES did clean out a lot of levels at the low and recover. Yes, trying to go red to green on the day. Nice, Richard. Well done. I passed my funded futures, so I'm up 500 on all of my 4 Apex funded accounts. I think I'm done. That's really good work, Richard. Lovely work. So all you got to do, base hits, make your money, get off, job done, especially in a market environment like this. Don't worry about it. Come back tomorrow, do the same thing. Market continuing to look for a squeeze higher here. I'm looking to see if we can get up to that opening range high. All right, the initial balance high. We will need ES to get through its previous day close if we are to do that on the NQ. That's what I'd like to see. Once we get up there, if we're able to base above it, then there's possibility for a trade to 700, but it's going to struggle if it can't base above it. Again, the market's still not in agreement, but Amazon has got a chance to go red to green, as has Apple. God, I cannot get my words out. All right, so Tesla, the week one today, 2.38% down. Nvidia, 1.38% up. Meta, 1.33% up. Google, 1.52% down. That had a negative catalyst this morning. Amazon's got a chance to go red to green. Apple's got a chance to go red to green if they can find bids. Otherwise, the chop will continue. Remember, you should have taken a partial into that move into supply. We'll need to see if anyone turns up on the tape now. Here you go. Range rotation continues. It's gross, isn't it? This is what we expect this market to do right now. It's very, very hard right now in this market because there is no continuation. All right, understand the difference. Zero continuation in this market. It's not willing to price above breakout levels or below breakout levels and base, which means there's no continuation, which means all we do is rotate. There's a big market order that came in there. There's a seller. He's being absorbed at the moment, but it was a big order. Came and slapped that book. There's a chance for an inverse head and shoulders here on the market, but not if they can't hold it. Right now, we are rejecting supply. Very clear on that last drive up. Yeah, Like, probably. And we're expecting him, well, the rumor is that he's going to resign. I mean, that just wrecked 172 bids, and they came in twice. Single order 66, single order 50s. Anything over 30 for me is like decent size. Over 50, over 60, very good. 100 and plus is huge. And we haven't seen those 1,000 blocks for, I don't know, 3-4 weeks now. Like we said, big order came in, he's being absorbed. So here's the battle right now. Can they build that inverse shoulder, basically, to go upside? Or are they going to fail where they just found that seller? Remember, they just found a seller here at the previous week close. Same level. We've just gone back to it where they just sold from. They're waiting to see, does he refresh? Because he's not a limit order. He's an aggressive order. He's a market order. He came in and just slapped the tape. So they're waiting to see, is he here? Is he here? Is he here? Is he going to pop up again? And if he's not there, then they've built the right shoulder, a bit of a quasi. This looks much better on ES right now. Again, ES being the much nicer trader. This is possible. Oh, not that. This is possible, but not if they stay heavy versus this. This rotation can happen. And that would just be a standard range rotation inside initial balance. No big change. I'm getting ready to go back to sleep, honestly. This is no bueno. Holding in front of 350s, that VWAP. I think ES wants to go higher. It's just whether they're going to let it do it. It can afford a pullback all the way back down to 96 or 95s on ES as well. Again, if you're a range trader, you're probably having good fun in this market right now. It's giving you 13 days of range rotation. The buyers come on the bid down at 260s now, just showing up. Oh, how much longer I'm going to give this? I'll give it to the new hour. If no move on the new hour, folks, I'm out of here. If there's no move on the new hour, I am out of here. The SPY looks like it wants to come back and test its VWAP. Buyers will need to step in there. If they don't step in there, then we go back towards low of day. Oh. Who's favourite to go in if Powell gets booted out? Well, he can't get booted out. He'd have to choose to leave. But if he does leave, does anyone know who the favourite to go in is? It would be a Republican for sure, because Trump will select them. As someone who's more willing to make cuts is basically what's going to be. Arteta, yeah. Yes, trying to hold on. SPY not to view up yet. I think that's where it wants to back test unless it finds a bid here for that move for the inverse head and shoulders. All right, they're trying to grab it here. They're trying. You can see on ES, it's really nice head, like inverse head and shoulders. On the NQ, they're trying to build out that quasi. It's just tricky because you're in a little bit of no man's land in terms of positioning in the New York session. You are basically right in the middle of the extremes. So if you're a range rotation player, this is where you don't want to touch it because you want to be playing the extremes of the market. If you look at that opening range, I think we're probably about 50% of that opening range. Take this off. Yes, finding a bid. This market really has got the chance to move higher. It's just if they want to be risk on or not. Do they like the idea that Powell might step down? Do they look for that breakout above previous day high? Do they want to price all the way up to 700s? Oh yeah, thanks, Ken. Check him out. We're just hanging around previous week close here. ES looks better. Again, it looks better. Even for upside, it looks better. It just looks better. It's just better looking. It's just better looking. And Q just looks shite. A head and shoulder or inverse head and shoulder? An inverse head and shoulders is what it's trying to build, but it's on an NQ, it's a quasi, and it's not high up, it's not high enough, and we're in the midpoint of the range. On the ES, it looks much, much, much better. Much better. On the Qs, it looks terrible. And again, we have divergence because QQQ, and like us, we're bouncing off that New York or QQQ view up. ES and SPY is nowhere near it. So if they want to do a nasty flush down and scoop up off there, they can, and everyone in the queues will get flushed out before it goes. So again, like they're just, it is all for reason, folks. All right, this is all, it's calculated. The way they do this stuff is for reason. And again, VIX is just stuck at 19. You want to see VIX fail below 19. It's had one fail today down to 1880 and it found a bid. It needs to start failing. You want to see VIX trade down to 1860, which is previous day low. and start washing it. Okay, because if we do that, the market can move up. But right now, anyone looking for a trend in the market, you are not going to get it until we get outside of key levels. All the time we're inside price action, you're not going to get a trend develop. Would absolutely love this to rip up through high of day, base above it, and go to 700. It would be like a nice, easy trade, but I do not expect the market to do that because it's shown it doesn't want to give us anything easy right now. I'm going to get a refill here. Oi! You take me higher. It wants to go, but let's see. You can play dip longs versus flow zones here, especially if it reprices this little imbalance, which it's starting to do. You need to see it hold a bit above 85 here. ES looks really good for this move. There is room, right? There is room. Above 420, previous day high 430, opening range high 450, above that 700. There is room. It's just, do they want to join in for a move upside? We are in a range rotating market. It's really like, do they want to join in? Does Amazon want to go red to green? Is Tesla going to stop selling? Can Goog find a bid? You know, like, you've got 1, 2, 3 of the Mag 7s, basically half, right? Especially when you consider how much Tesla's down. Half of the Mag 7 is red, half are green, and barely green. You've got Meta's the strongest one. It's not like they're all driving and ripping up higher. So you've got to understand that. Like, if they're not in agreement, how are we going to move higher? And if you're like, oh, it's only 7 stocks. Yeah, that's 60% of NQ. Right? Those 7 stocks are 60% of the Qs. So they matter, right? They matter a lot. So I'm always looking at them. VIX underneath 19. Can it get follow through to downside, or does it just find a bid here and chop back up? A quick look here at Tesla and stuff. Basing, Nvidia failing. Meta looks okay, but not at high day yet. Goog just at VWAP. Amazon just above VWAP. Microsoft at VWAP. Apple just above VWAP. Yeah. There's nothing here. There's nothing here, folks. I'm telling you. There's nothing here right now. It can change. But right now, there's nothing here. 10 more minutes and then I'm out of here unless something changes. It's okay. Like, it's a Monday. You got to expect it's not going to be every day a great day. And this was setting up for a very poor day. It was setting up for a poor day. We talked about it pre-market. We talked about it. It's not like I was unprepared for this, right? Those in Discord, when we talked about it, Until we get above previous day high and hold a bid, I think we chop and possibly rotate lower if we want. We're stuck in old range, so be careful looking for a trend. These were the levels, and that's still what we're stuck between. Okay, nothing's changed. Not a whole lot of edge right now. Need to let it develop. Okay, so this is not like unexpected. This is very, very, very expected. All you have to do is look at the charts. It was screaming that it was going to do this for you today. It can change. Once they've trapped enough people, absolutely it can change. But until then, this is what we expect. ES definitely the better trader today. Why is that? Because it's less dependent on the mag. ES can't get through Friday open again. Broke even on my runner. Yeah. Very hard to get this. That's it. But the good thing is, Mike, is you're just holding a runner for it, right? So you're seeing money, you're taking money, you're holding a runner. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's good trading. Right? That's good trading. You're not oversizing, holding full position, looking for it to extend a range that you want or extend a trend. You're not looking for that. And that's good trading. That means you understand the environment. You're seeing money, you're taking money. If it goes, you get some more. If it doesn't, no big deal. That's how you got to trade these. VIX is under 90. I want to see if it can break its low of day. Raphael, I think it panicked unless they're announcing a replacement who's a strong Republican that they know is going to do what Trump wants straight away. I don't know how it works, like whether they announce that straight away or how it works at all, basically. So I'd imagine when he steps down, maybe possibly a negative reaction, unless we announce straight away that someone's stepping in, all right? And if the market knows, okay, that's a Republican stepping in, he's under Trump's wing, he's going to do rate cuts straight away. If they announce that straight away, I think we move upside because the market wants rate cuts, right? Rate cuts will help this market breathe. But it really depends what's involved in that announcement. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to work that out, whether they like leave it a day or two or not. So possibly if they leave it a day or two, maybe it's a negative catalyst just for a moment because there's uncertainty. Market doesn't like uncertainty. Market trying to go here. It's trying to do that rotation. Again, ES, look at ES. Looks so good. It looks so good on ES. Just can NQ follow through here a little bit? So yeah, that would be my read on it. So I'd be watching to see if they announce a replacement. And I'd imagine, if they're going to announce a replacement, it's going to be someone who's going to do what Trump wants. The market's desperate for a rate cut. It's desperate for a rate cut. And Trump's made that very clear. He wants a rate cut. So I imagine Jerome's just like, he feels cornered right now. Arguably, he's left it too late. I would actually agree with Donald. The recession indicators are still there, regardless of what the tickers are doing in terms of moving up. The recession indicators are still there. Same with the bonds. And you saw Jamie Dimon talk last week about the bonds. I think there's going to be a big bond problem soon. Here goes VIX trading back down towards low of day. Does it snap low of day? If it does, we can get squeezed. If it doesn't, then God knows what's going to happen. Just the nonsense continuation. Would love to see some follow through today at some point. It would be beautiful, wouldn't it? New hourly bar coming here in 40 seconds. So maybe we get it then. What's this last hourly bar? If we take out that old hourly high, which is high of day, we've got some stops to pop into 488 and then 437. And then I think there's a strong move to 700. Here goes the market. So we're doing it into this new hour. Is there any continuation in this market? Again, ES looks fantastic. New hourly bar coming in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's your new hourly bar. What do they do with it? Here's your 400s. You do not want a double top here if you're long, because it's actually more like a triple, and they need to build liquidity. They'll move away from this point and come back for it later. Really, you just want continuation if you're already in this. I'd be very careful into a new hourly bar if you don't see continuation. It can clean up a lot of liquidity lower very quickly if it wants to. So you want to see an explosive move upside right now. On the book, there is some selling here into 15. It's jostling around a little bit. Looking for sellers higher. There's some small size, 450, 475, 500, but nothing huge. This is what you want to see. You want to see this breakout now through this pivot high of 18. Through that, we should go high of day, really. Through 18, we should go 30, and through 30, we should go high of day. And through high of day, you would expect stops to get popped for a bigger move at this point. ES very close to it. ES looks, again, I should just trade ES, shouldn't I? It looks so good, folks. It looks so, so good. ES wants to continue higher. ES looks fantastic. Even this hourly bar is looking decent open here. Just we're back into this level where we failed from. Remember, intraday buyers, intraday supply is here. This is where the buyers got stuck, buyers got stuck, buyers got stuck. This is where we failed away from. We priced in, failed once, we priced in again. This can build liquidity here, right, to be this. This is your quasi that we talked about. If we can do this, it can be explosive. Would not be trying to play this counter trend now. Well, I guess if you're range rotation, you could, but it's not something I would look for. My iPad's just turned off, so I can't see my stream. Totally disappeared. Here we go. All right, still looks like it wants to build to go higher right now. Can ES get through PDC and the 5-day moving average and the initial balance high? If we can pop that on ES, maybe it can drag the Qs up. Watching the VIX, need to see VIX break low of day. Right, it's just hanging around at that low of day. You want to see this break low of day go down to previous day low on the VIX. That's your confluence. If it can't do that, this is the same range that it keeps finding bids at. It's not just today, all right? And we found bids here Tuesday last week, Wednesday last week, Thursday last week, Friday last week, all right? Very similar to looking left on the market and seeing where we keep failing from. No, I didn't. Tell me, Jake, what's going on there? So, big sells. Yeah, I do. We talked about that, Greg. I do. They are probably doing that. They're probably building liquidity for that. But it depends whether they might know stuff that we don't already. They might start pricing it in early. Yes, again, cannot get through it. So is this last yank down soaked up again, like we talked about with the buyer on the tape or not? You've got Logan talking now. When risk changes materially, we're positioned to respond. We have time to see how the national policies impact data. So you got Fed talk now, just to make it extra hard. It's just Fed talk, and I mean, it's just Fed talk, and we're at supply, same level. It still wouldn't surprise me to see this go higher, but it depends what the Fed say. If they're going to start being really hawkish, there's a hint towards what's happening later. Look at VIX finding a bid off that same level. No change in the market, no follow through, not above previous day's action. Zero follow through. If you're here getting chopped up, it's because you can't sit still and you're unwilling to zoom out and look at the higher time frame. We've talked about it all day long, all day long. There is no follow through in the market. It is shown you for 13 days. There's no follow through in the market. If we're opening inside that range, which we are, this is what you expect. So 5 more minutes or 4 more minutes, and then I'm out of here, folks, because I'm not going to sit and watch this shite, and neither should you. Have to understand when conditions are there for your style. Well, that's if you trade like me, and when they're not. Yeah, cringe, definitely, buddy. Definitely. I might try and get a workout in quickly, and I'm just going to phone Jess and see if we're going to book surgery early, because my dog cannot walk right now. She was crying all last night, unfortunately. So back to old point control, finding a bid. Unless we get up over here, not interested. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, we had it booked for July the 8th, but I'm going away to Europe in a couple of weeks, but I don't think we can wait that long if she's in that much pain. Mike, yeah. We've had it for a while, dude. We're going to have it for a while longer unless something changes. Maybe Jerome leaving will change it. Maybe that's the spark the market needs, you know? All right, nice one, buddy. Maybe that's the spark that needs. If he leaves and we get someone in who wants to do rate cuts, I might do it. Do you know what? We didn't end up really watching a film. We put up the TV together. It took a while. I didn't do a lot because of my back. You got a 77-inch new TV. By the time we got it up, we ordered burgers and fries, and we watched. Do you know what we watched? We watched Tom Segoya's Bad Thoughts. I don't know if any of you have watched that. Mental. Absolutely crazy. I was in pieces. I'm all the way up to the French episode. If you've watched it, you know what I mean. The twin sister. I don't know if any of you have watched it. And the last night I watched Sinners. Really good. Sinners was really good. Okay. Nothing going on. Market doing absolutely nothing. 90 seconds left, and then I'm going to get out of here. I will not sit and watch this all day. There's no point, folks. Wow. Sick, Raphael. I do love LG. That's what my screen here is. Love LG. So remember, you got Fed talk right now. Probably being hawkish. And the chop continues. All right, folks, that is it for me. There's no way I'm sitting here all afternoon watching an inside day, and I would say the same for you. So for me, it's going to be really simple. All right, very, very simple. I will set price alerts. If this will let me set an alert. Can I not name this anymore? Let's create this. I'm going to drag this. Let's do it here. Continue. And then I'm going to do one at low of day, near low of day. And that's it. I'm not interested in this market unless it gets to one of these extremes. That's how I trade this. I will wait and it will go off on my phone, and hopefully I'm somewhere not too far from a computer if one of those goes off. You're thinking before I go, I'm not thinking anything. I'm thinking this market continues to do exactly what it's doing, which is absolutely nothing. It's just range rotation. It's what I expected this morning coming to the market. It's what we got this morning. We had a failed breakout above previous day high. NQ didn't even wash the lows. ES did. And now we're just chopping. And that's what I expect this market to do unless we break one of these key levels, which I've just marked out for a notification from TradingView. And then if and when we get there, right? If and when we get there, then I'll consider another trade. But until then, there's really nothing to consider, folks. You know, think about what we've really done. Just think about what we've done. Morning print, giant squeeze, absolutely no structure. Giant squeeze. Takes previous day high, comes under, rejects previous day high, giant fail. Okay, one pullback here, but nothing else. Okay, so this is bollocks because there's nothing in there, which is why we're now chopping in there. We're filling in volume in there, which didn't exist. Okay, and then from here, what have we done? Grind, 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 grind. First test of where buyers are trapped, fail. Grind, grind, grind. Second test of where buyers are trapped, fail. Right, so this is your new chop zone. This is your rotational zone. Underneath this, with the rejection, maybe we come back down to somewhere in here, but you've got view up support. Above this, we can run stops and get up to high of day. Above that is where I'm interested, because above that, there is room for a breakout retest all the way up to 700. All right, why 700? Look left. What did we do on Friday? Where are we thin? Okay, I'd be looking for partials in here, partial there, into this cluster here, and where we failed from overnight. All right, so Wednesday into Thursday on that big gap up, this is where the buyers are stuck. I'm looking for a reprice into here. Until that point, there is no trade for me. All right, folks, what I will not do, and I've talked about it all these weeks, is sit in the middle of the range trying to guess which direction it wants to go in. That is what the market is, exactly what the market wants you to do. And you will become the liquidity for people who have bigger orders than you, who can absorb you. Right, so if you are trying to play short against this, you got absorbed. If you're trying to play long up against this, you got failed on. This is what it's going to do. Where do I think it wants to go? Here. Then where do I think it wants to go? Up here. Has it got there yet? No. So I just have to wait. Maybe I'm being impatient. Maybe it's going to go right now. I don't know. Maybe we give it one more minute. If this drives through, I'll give it one more minute. If this fails, this attempt up here, then I'll get out. All right, but no, there's nothing else to see here, folks. Really, there is nothing else to do or see here. Yes, having another attempt towards the high of day. Ken started your course. Oh, nice, Ken. Yeah, saw you grab that. Take your time with it. Lots of stuff to get through here. All right, one more attempt here into, what's this level? 16. So I'd say 16 and 18 is where the stops are. If they pop these, right, you might get a bit of a like pump move, because you got two sets of stops there, but they will need to pop those stops. If they don't pop those stops, all you're in is range. And look at that. It's boring. It's upside momentum, but it's going to chop everyone up. All right, folks, my price alerts are set. Hopefully they don't go off as soon as I get to the gym. That's what happened. I can't remember what day it happened last week, Discord. Do you remember it? I had to run home from the gym to try and get the trade with you lot. But that's what we look for. We'll look to see if we get expansion or not. And yeah, let's see what we get. Like Monday, Tuesday, we can build out this early week range. Once we know what Powell's doing, we can make a decision. If he's not leaving, the other thing is, if he's not leaving, how does that also affect the market? Is the market looking for him to leave? That's the other thing you need to think of, because it's just a rumor right now. And we'll be back tomorrow morning. Discord, I'll be back in the Discord later today. I would advise you sort of set price alerts sort of same levels I've set them. If you're a range rotation trader, obviously you can play versus those ranges versus the IB and orb. But so far, no breakout continuation in front of that. Peace and love, everyone. And please trade safe. And don't do something stupid on a Monday. You've got a whole week ahead of you here. We're into a new month. We can create a new range. You do not need to get chopped up in bad price action. Learn to trade when the action's good and to leave it alone when it's not. Take care.